What will it take for Cleanspark, ticker symbol CLSK, to get to $50 a share? Currently trading at $15.69. This represents a whole lot of upside potential and could potentially make investors a lot of money. In this video, we're going to truly analyze the company. We're going to have a look at their price to earnings. We're going to have a look at their current assets, their current liabilities. We're going to look at how much money they make, how much money they could potentially make, particularly with their Bitcoin mining. And we're going to use all this information to try to determine a fair share price and what it will take to see them get to $50 a share. This video is not financial advice. For anyone new to the channel, my name is Dean. I make these videos because I invest in companies to try and make some money, and I thought, hey, let's make these videos, put them out there on YouTube, and maybe help you make some money also. And all I ask in return is please invest in the like button, add the subscribe button to your portfolio, and turn on notifications. I make these videos as consistently as possible, and I'm trying to make them as accurate as possible also. Without wasting any more time, let's get straight into the video. For anyone who doesn't know who Cleanspark are, they are a company that provide advanced energy software and control technology that allows users to obtain resiliency and economic optimization of energy. Our software is uniquely capable of enabling a microgrid to be scaled to the user's specific needs and can be widely implemented across many fields, including industrial, residential, commercial, military, and more. They offer energy controls, microgrid modeling software, open ADR certification, Bitcoin mining and data center, which is what we are going to focus on a bit more in this video, and also innovation and consulting services. Now, they currently produce in their Bitcoin mining 200 PHS in mining capacity, which equates to roughly 1 Bitcoin a day. On their investor presentation, they operate at 80% profitability in terms of Bitcoin mining when the price of Bitcoin is $60,000. So for the sake of this video and for any calculations we make using Bitcoin, we are going to use this $60,000 and 80% profitability as a baseline. Let's start by jumping into their income statement. In the first quarter of 2021, Cleanspark actually managed to have their first profitable quarter with a net income of 7.4 million. To put this in perspective, in their last quarter in 2020, they saw a negative income. So they had an income loss of 7.17 million. So there has been a lot of improvement in this. And in the past 5 years, the net income for CLSK has actually shown a negative growth of 11 million. So they were better off 5 years ago than now. However, all is not what it seems, because in 2016, they showed a negative income loss of minus 2.54 million. 2017, they had a negative loss of 13.5 million. 2018, there was a big jump here. In 2018, they lost 47 million. And then things started getting better in the last 3 years, with 2019 being only negative 26 million, 2020 being negative 20 million, and of course we've seen a profitable quarter, which does give me high hopes for this year. In their first quarter of 2021, Cleanspark earned 29 cents per share, and at a $15.69 a share price, this gives them a PE ratio of 54. This is very high for me. I like to see companies with a PE ratio of under 20. So 54 is pretty high. However, this is not the be or end all in the stock price, because there are companies like Tesla trading at ridiculously higher. I think Tesla actually trades at a PE ratio of about 1,000 or something like that off the top of my head. I know it's very, very crazy. So this isn't uncommon, and this isn't necessarily something that cannot be maintained. Now, I understand that a lot of CLSK investors are factoring in the growth, and we're going to get into that also. On the balance sheet, this is something that was very, very good. They have current assets of 178.46 million, and they are far greater than their current liabilities of 7.34 million. So they are good in that sense. It is a big tick. They can pay off any current debt if they have to. Now, remember at the beginning of the video, we said Cleanspark was mining roughly 1 Bitcoin a day. Well, in addition to this, they have added new and improved Bitcoin miners that put their hash rate from 200 to 400, meaning they will now be mining, once these miners arrive, I believe they arrive around June 1st, they will be mining 2 Bitcoin a day. At the price of $60,000 a Bitcoin, which is, as I said, what we're going to use for these calculations, this represents an additional 35 million in profit, factoring in their profitability rate on Bitcoin mining of 80%. Adding this into the mix of things and assuming they don't dilute any shares, which can be another very, very risk. If you look in the past of this company, they have been consistently diluting shares. So this is something to consider. And when they do this, when they add more shares, it means you get a smaller slice of the pie, and it truly does affect the share price negatively. Unfortunately, I haven't seen them buying back any shares, which would be the complete opposite and actually be beneficial for Cleanspark investors. So if we add the Bitcoin mining, the new rigs, this adds another 8.7 million in net income per quarter. And if we add this on top of the 7.4 million they just had just as a baseline, this gives them a net income of roughly $16 million a quarter. Now, redoing the PE calculation with this number, CLSK still trades at a PE of around 25, which is still high, however, a lot better, and I am more comfortable knowing this, but this is risky. This is us making assumptions about Bitcoin price and other factors, which we will get into in just a moment. If you think Bitcoin will be trading higher than $60,000, obviously, this has effect on these numbers, and I am personally bullish on Bitcoin, and I do see a world where Bitcoin trades at over $100,000 a coin. What will this mean for the share price if the Bitcoin price is $100,000? Well, if that's the case, it actually adds on $64 million a year in net income, which works out to be $16 million a quarter. And adding this to the current quarter's net income as a base, we should see an increase that gives us an earning of 90 cents a share, which I feel is very, very good. If Cleanspark continues to trade at current PE ratios of 54, and as I said, I feel this is high, however, I feel this is something that can be achieved. This will give us a share price of $33.52 a share, assuming an earnings of 90 cents a share. It also assumes Bitcoin is at $60,000 and they continue to do well in their other business streams. Also, it assumes that they don't dilute any shares. So there are a lot of assumptions made here for this to happen. However, if these do happen, then there is a lot of upside here. We're talking over 100% upside based on these figures alone. On the other hand, if you're bullish on Bitcoin and you see them trading at $100,000 a share, at current PE ratios of 54, which as I said, I feel it is high, but let's give them a chance. Let's assume we can achieve this. This gives us a price of $48.73 a share, which is very, very good. We also have to assume that they maintain their other businesses, that they don't dilute any shares, and that they keep this high PE ratio. The risks. In the most recent 10K, there are some risks that I want to bring your attention to. So the 10K, they actually include some of the risks themselves. And one of them is the industry that we are operating in is highly competitive and they may be unable to compete to survive. So the industry they operate in is highly competitive, which means that they might lose out just in terms of not being a good enough company, which would obviously be disastrous for shareholders. They have a lack of managerial experience in the renewable energy and microgrid industries, which could adversely affect our company. So they have a lack of experience in their managers in the sector that they operate in, which is worrying. However, if the CEOs and if the management team are capable, it is not something that is very, very critical. It is, but it isn't. Like, if they're good at what they do, they will be able to pass this. However, it is just a risk that you must consider. We have engaged in and may engage in acquisitions that could disrupt our business, cause dilution to our stockholders, reduce our financial resources, and harm operating results. So obviously, they're basically saying they can do something that can make a mistake. But what I really want to highlight here is the share dilution. They have said they might dilute shares. And as I mentioned a bit earlier, if they dilute shares, it means you get a smaller slice of the pie, and it will truly affect the share price on the negative depending on how much shares they dilute. On the flip side of the coin, if we see them buying back shares, well, that is going to do just the opposite and really push some upwards pressure on the stock price, and investors will be very, very happy. Now, one more thing that I think is very beneficial for Cleanspark, and I do see as a big tick, is with what's happening with Bitcoin lately, as some of you may know, Tesla has stopped accepting Bitcoin as payment for vehicles because Elon Musk said that he doesn't agree with the environmental issues surrounding Bitcoin. What we mean by that is Bitcoin mining takes a lot of electricity, which kind of goes against the whole point of Tesla and the green future. So he's saying it's bad for the environment to mine Bitcoin. Well, in Cleanspark's case, 95% is carbon-free electricity. They're using renewable green energy to mine Bitcoin, and this is something that we might have to see adapted among all Bitcoin mining companies if other companies like Tesla follow suit in their boycott of Bitcoin for this reason. Therefore, this gives Cleanspark a really big competitive advantage, and it is a factor, in my opinion, to see them trading at these higher PE ratios. So what will it take for Cleanspark to get to $50 a share? Well, we need to see a really bullish outlook on Bitcoin of at least over $100,000 a share. We need to see them be successful in their other industry factors, and we need to see them maintain this PE ratio amongst not diluting any shares. So there is a lot to happen here. However, based on the fundamentals, based on the numbers, this is what needs to happen. That's not to say that hype and other factors and excitement and a lot of investors flooding into the stock pushing it up. Yeah, sure, as a swing trade, that is absolutely possible. However, on the fundamentals, the way I see it, that's what needs to happen to see Cleanspark get to the $50 a share range. That is all for the video for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let me know in the comments, what are your personal Cleanspark price predictions? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I'd like to hear what you say. I will reply to every single comment, and I will see you all in the next video.